A black police officer is protecting members of the Ku Klux Klan from their opponents. This took place in Austin, Texas, in the year 1983. The family in Tokyo watches the moon landing in 1969. This is a portrait of Hollow Horn Bear, a man from the Brule Native American tribe. The year was 1907. In 1901, there was a story about the 25-year captivity of Blanche Monnier. American soldiers are sheltering in a trench just over a mile from Ground Zero, moments after the detonation of the 43-kiloton nuclear device Simon at the Nevada test site, 1953. Washington, D.C., around 1927. Walter Layman traveled across the country with his dog, Little Pocahontas, and documented Native American culture. His photographs were published in magazines like National Geographic and Nature. She was about to turn 16. He was 17. They met at a party. It was in the fall. She wore a red dress. He wore a blue shirt. They talked for an hour. He asked her to go for a walk. They walked by the lake. The moon was full. He stopped and looked at her. She looked at him. He leaned in and kissed her. She kissed him back. It was the best kiss of her life. A husband and wife with their 11 children on Palm Sunday, 1954. A German woman is burning tons of legal paper money. This happened during the hyperinflation of German currency in the 1920s. The paper money was actually cheaper than wood or coal. Families used it to fuel their fires during the crisis. Friendship. Once upon a time, there was a friendship between two women, Maria and Sophia. Maria and Sophia were inseparable, just like two peas in a pod. They spent many years together, sharing everything. Here's a young Lee Harvey Oswald as a Marine in 1956. Colonel General Alfred Jodl, Chief of Staff of the German Armed Forces High Command, signs the unconditional surrender of Nazi Germany. It was May 7, 1945. Around 1973, Barbara Clack skis on human water skis. Joker Osborne and Ken White, who were champion skiers at Cypress Gardens, Florida, were also there. At low tide, London, the 1930s. Movie night. It's February 1942. We're in Tulare County, California, at an FSA farm workers camp. A woman walks around renting out books as a walking library. Robert Earl Hughes, who lived from 1926 to 1958, was the heaviest person ever recorded. He weighed 1,071 pounds, and he walked without any assistance. Here's the view of Fujiyama, Japan, in 1920. Truck driver Robert Newher and his family gathered around the television in 1949 when screens first invaded the American living room. A new station had just debuted in the Newhers' hometown of Erie, Pennsylvania. Yale University Pipe Smokers Endurance Competition, 1959. Two kids are taking a pony ride in 1924. Apparently, not everyone walked to school back then. Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney, the good old days. There's a person trying to detect a distant aircraft during World War II. They're using listening equipment. Charlie Chaplin in a frame from the film, on his shoulder, 1918. Alexander Graham Bell on the right and his assistants are observing testing of one of his tetrahedral kites in 1908. "29-year-old Ronald Reagan is posing for an art class in 1940. Walter Yeo, a sailor, was the first person to undergo plastic surgery. He was injured during World War I in 1917. His face was severely damaged. He received skin grafts. These were a new medical procedure. Three young boys are sailing a homemade raft. They're at Frinton-on-Sea, Essex. It's the 1930s. A girl is having a tea party around 1913. In 1922, in the Volga estuary, a beluga sturgeon was caught. It was around 23 feet and weighed 3,463 pounds. They truly are dinosaurs of the sea. Let's all paddle. July 27th, 1933. London school children are crowding into a paddling pool at King Edward Memorial Park, Wapping during a heat wave. Two spruce girls are standing on the beach wearing spruce veneer bathing suits, probably in Hoquiam, Washington, in 1929. Drinks party. August 21st, 1930. A group of actors, including Tallulah Bankhead, who was born in 1903 and died in 1968, are doubled over with hysterical laughter from the play Let Us Be Gay at the Lyric Theatre, London, bottling ketchup at the Heinz factory in Pittsburgh, 1897. The Great San Francisco earthquake of 1906 was the deadliest earthquake in U.S. history. After the disaster, you could literally see where the earth split along the San Andreas Fault. Helen Bush, whose mother doesn't approve of evacuating children to the country, helps parson French salvage clothes from a bombed house in London's East End. All right, so Paul McCartney at a photo booth in France, 1966. Volusia County, Florida, around 1897 on the Tomoka. A match seller with a disability suffering from polio is surviving on the streets of London. This was around 1900. After the German annexation of Austria, the police struggled to contain a cheering Austrian crowd during Adolf Hitler's visit to Vienna. This happened in March of 1938. Nazi camp overseer Gerda Steinhoff, in the center middle, stifles a smile as she goes on trial for torturing and murdering prisoners in Poland, 1946. A lightning bolt strikes the plume from a detonated U.S. Navy depth charge. This happened in the Chesapeake Bay on October 24, 1957. August von Mackensen, a First World War German field marshal. He was one of Germany's most prominent and competent military leaders and remained a committed monarchist until his death in November 1945 at the age of 95. An Italian Navy airship is sinking in 1915. A German railroad plow in Italy in 1944. A samurai with a long bow from the Satsuma domain, Japan, 1860. So, to win a bet in New Jersey in 1956. Someone is gesturing towards the marchers as the Ku Klux Klan paraded through the heart of Houston's gay community in 1984. The Klan marched with the protection of policemen. There was a lot of shouting between the opponents, but no clashes occurred. Marines with 3 M23 and 124 training aids at Camp Pendleton, October 1956. It's a drive-in theater in San Francisco from 1948. A young boy, 8 years old, is working on a farm. This was in western Massachusetts in 1915. In the 1940s, Coco Chanel had an affair with a Nazi officer. She tried to take over her Jewish partner's perfume business, joined a Nazi mission called Westminster, and walked free after the war, likely because of Churchill. A daguerreotype of a young lady with great hair. It must have taken hours to style it. This is from the late 1890s. Children are studying a special relief globe. The year is 1914. A West Berlin police officer stands guard. East German soldiers are building the Berlin Wall behind him in 1961. A sniper was captured, dressed as a tree. This happened in Gallipoli in 1915. Victorian trick cyclists are performing a balancing act in 1891. Wounded American soldiers are inside a war-torn cathedral during World War I. Fort Peck Dam under construction in Montana, 1936. Cecil J. Williams, a photographer, is drinking from a water fountain. The water fountain is for white people only. This happened in 1964. In 1973, Marlon Brando rejected his Oscar for The Godfather, and he had Sachin Littlefeather protest Hollywood's portrayal of Native Americans. African American students are arriving at Baltimore, Maryland's newly integrated Southern high school. White students are walking behind them, holding a sign that reads, "Southern don't want Negroes." This was in 1954. On February 4, 1912, Austrian inventor Franz Reichelt plummeted to his death from the Eiffel Tower. He launched himself from the tower, hoping to show off his new low-altitude parachute, which failed. A couple from 1850. Let's see. The first New York City tour buses in 1904 were horse-drawn. They had open tops and sides. The buses were painted dark green and pulled by a team of 4 horses. German collaborators are rallying in Minsk, Belarus in 1943. This is the all-new baby safety seat from the 1950s. Buried at Seashore, Atlantic City, New Jersey, around 1905. There were beach bathers and the steel pier. It's October of 1938, and the German military is officially entering Czechoslovakia. They're there to annex the Sudeten regions into the German Reich. The local German population is saluting the troops. There's a young chimpanzee, Kokomo Jr., in a New York City apartment in 1955. Those are replica masks of the faceless students from Pink Floyd's The Wall. Captured German rifles Mauser 98K. Roadbed installation during the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, around 1936. Jane Mansfield is posing on a couch on the set of the television show The Bachelor from the 1950s. Charlie Chaplin, 1918. Jane Russell's first Western was Outlaws. She was an American actress and a sex symbol of the 1940s and early 1950s. All right, here we go. I think I'm going to need a bigger boat. My therapist told me to embrace my flaws. So, I did. Now I'm hugging a bunch of people. I'm not sure what's tighter, our genes or our friendship. I'm not always sarcastic. Sometimes I'm sleeping or eating. I followed my heart, and it led me to the fridge. I'm not sure what's worse, my decisions or my friends' reactions to them. I'm not sure what's tighter, our genes or our friendship. Annie Oakley, 1894. I summon the powers of darkness to protect this car and make it a vessel of my will. I banish all evil spirits from this vehicle. Chant this 3 times. After this, You may exit the car. Third, you anoint the car. You need oil. The oil can be any kind. First, you anoint the tires. Second, you anoint the hood. Third, you anoint the doors. While anointing, you chant the following: I anoint this car with the essence of darkness, and I bind it to my will. May it serve me on the roads of life. May it travel with protection. Chant this 3 times. After this, the car is ready for use. February 1937, Posey County, Indiana. Trouble caused on farmland, highways, roads, farm buildings, equipment, and homes by the 1937 flood. A car after the flood on Mackey Ferry Road near Mount Vernon. On November 27, 1967, a soldier from the 30th Regiment of the Beckma Division rescues Vietnamese children during the Battle of Dien Con. This soldier's name is Unsung Byung. Today, I learned that in London in the 40s they would do gas exercises for civilians to prepare for gas attacks from Germany. There's an anti-abortion demonstration happening at Binnenhof in the Netherlands in 1974. An American soldier shows off the helmet that saved his life during the Vietnam War. It was around 1969. A British tank, a Mark IV, called Britannia, leads the parade on Fifth Avenue on Freedom Day in New York in 1917. A school lunch in the 1980s. It had cheese pizza, some corn, a soft pretzel with mustard, a mixed fruit cup, and chocolate milk. French women who'd collaborated with the Nazis during World War II are getting publicly humiliated by members of the resistance during the liberation of France in 1944. Tommy Lee Jones, playing as an offensive guard at St. Mark's School of Texas in 1965. The world's last commercial sailing ship, the Pamir, is rounding Cape Horn for the last time in 1949. There's a shaman holding a man. The location is Alaska, and the year is 1886. The man is accused of witchcraft. Pilots were pleased over their victory during the Marshall Islands attack. They grin across the tail of an F-6F Hellcat on board the USS Lexington after shooting down 17 out of 20 Japanese planes heading for Tarawa in 1943. A member of the SS is frolicking in a field of daffodils during World War II. The Michelin Man not only used to be absolutely terrifying, but he used to run with a gang of several other musically inclined Michelin men. Consolidated B-24H Liberator, serial number 42-95379, Extra Joker, was in the last photo taken of her on the 23rd of August, 1944. She belonged to the 725th Bombardment Squadron, 451st Bombardment Group, 15th U.S. Air Force. 6th of October 1933, players are in a scrum during a rugby match, silhouetted by floodlights. Human zoos existed. This was taken in 1904, where the U.S. government imported 1,300 indigenous Filipinos from different tribes to display at the St. Louis Exposition in 1904. British airborne troops are admiring the graffiti chalked on the side of their Horsa glider as they prepare to fly out to Normandy as part of 6th Airborne Division's second lift on the evening of June 6, 1944. New York City, around 1900. It's a Jewish market on the east side. Someone is riding a rocket scooter in 1931. On June 4, 1937, Ardmore native Sylvan Goldman invented the shopping cart. Fred Rogers is testifying before Congress about funding for the Public Broadcasting Service. The date is May 1, 1969. Christian Troelstrup, a Danish clothier, covered the building with over 1,000 coats to attract buyers. This was in Copenhagen, Denmark, in 1936. A message-carrying pigeon is being released from a porthole in the side of a British Mark V tank during World War I. This happened near Albert, France in 1918. Nikola Tesla, born in 1856 and passed in 1943, a naturalized American physicist, is sitting in his Colorado Springs laboratory with his magnifying transmitter in 1899.